Hi everyone, we're looking at Chapter 6 in Java, Arrays and Array Lists. At the very minimum, do these shorter tutorials. It would be good to go through these also. Arrays are like lists and tuples. They are one variable name for multiple pieces of multiple values using a single variable. Here's how you declare things. How you access. You should read through all this. Let me get this out of the way. And we'll take a look at some of the code, which is going to be a better way to do it. This one says Array Basics. So Array Basics means that here's how we create an array. Well, it's a little more complicated than we do things in Python, isn't it? Well, that's how it goes. So this part names the array. It's going to be filled with integers. This indicates an array whenever you have brackets. And we create a new array with room for 5. So an array, just like everything else in Java except for primitive variables, is an object. It is indexed just like Python lists and tuples. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can assign them separately. We can loop through the array using a for loop. Now in this case, we're using a for loop that starts with a counter. So we initialize I at 0, which lines up with this, right? Arrays, being objects, have properties. Well, one of the properties of arrays in Java is the length. So we're going to go until I is less than the length. So the length of this is going to be 5. When we hit less than 5, it's 4. After that, we're greater than. So that allows us to loop right through the array, one at a time. This is good if you need a counter. If all you want to do is loop through the array, this is like a for next loop. It iterates through the array. So for int, you have to declare the variable that we're pulling out of the array, and it goes through the array one at a time until it's complete, but there isn't a counter. Just depends on what you want to do. If you want to be able to print out I or use it for some reason, you'd use this one. You can use this one regardless. You can also use this one. Let's run it. It depends on what you're doing. There we go. Loop through the array with the regular for loop. Loop through the array. Looks exactly the same. Two different ways to do the same thing. Well, this has the wrong name. It should say array access loops. However, the class is right. It does match the name of the program. So we're declaring a constant. Constants in Java and C++ need keywords. You actually have a constant. Once you've declared final int, you can't change it. And here we are creating a new array from this constant. So our array is going to have room for 4 items. We've already looked at the for loop. This is our standard for loop that we learned in Intro to Robotics. We can access individual elements. You can multiply by individual elements. You can have this element equals this element times this element. So individual elements are like variables, single variables. Now we can also traverse with a while loop. Well, a while loop just means we declare the counter outside. We have our test, which is 4. If we do change the size of our loop, we should probably have this be size. So if we change the size, the loop works right. And we can have counts. And notice I did not do ln. That way the numbers go left to right. Then they increment. And when j is less than size, zip, we're out. And here's our for each loop that we looked at before. Right, counts. And we can multiply each element by 2 if we wish. So we multiply each element by 2, gives us a counts 2, and there we go. Let's run this guy. There. So here is a for loop running the original empty array 0, 0, 0, 0. Here's after we did our calculations. We're running through it with a for loop, while loop for each loop. Then we're multiplying each element by 2. So there are some modifications we can do. Looping, we can treat elements of the array just like single variables.